What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at, is AI the future for dealing with the modern woman problem? And modern women's reaction to the fact that their replacements could very well be rolling off the assembly line here before we know it. Without further ado, let's get it.
I hope these robots have the worst PMS. Let them have all the worst postpartum. Let them order 76 oysters on a first date.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
The fact we're even having this conversation tells you everything about modern dating and just how messed up it is.
What this divorced misandrist with a perfectly rectangular face, who's well past her expiration date, doesn't even seem to understand is, she just let the cat out of the bag. Women, they know they're out of line, and they hope that the robots exhibit their bad behaviors. Well, the question is, because she's not smart enough to understand what she's done, is why would you get a robot to behave like an awful human woman when you could just get the overpriced flesh bag instead?
Have you seen the robots that are coming out? And the men are all excited because they're like, these robots are going to replace women. And the funniest part is the men are like, the women are going to be so pissed. And we're over here going, who's going to be pissed? Not I. By all means, get a robot. I mean, hell, we've already chosen cats over men and dogs over men. So why would we be upset that you want a robot? You don't like women with opinions anyway. It sounds perfect for you. I mean, the only thing that I'm sad about is that they're not affordable for most men. Most men will not be able to afford a robot lady. So save your pennies, Earl. Save them up because you're going to need a lot of them. A lot of pennies to get one of those ladies.
There you go with that bullshit.
Ironic how she's cheering for the same dating collapse that she's also complaining about.
There we go, guys. And so you even have women realizing, like, this is what's funny about it, is that seeing so many men happy to replace us with robots is very blackpilling, not gonna lie. You guys flew too close to the sun. Women flew too close to the sun, bro. Like, at first they wanted to be able to vote, then they wanted equal pay, and now they're getting replaced with robots.
Turns out, "You'll never replace us" was a dangerous challenge to give those engineers. The fact that these robots are even a thing says it all.
Yeah, they definitely girl bossed too close to the sun on this one. And it was a bad move, because the unpleasant truth of the matter is simply this, gentlemen. Men need women to keep the species from going extinct. Women need men for quite literally everything else. But they don't want to have that conversation.
What if you could have a companion that would never leave, never age, and never die? Well, now you can. The only catch, it's a robot.
你好呀.
Chinese company UB Tech has unveiled what it says is the world's first companion humanoid robot. It features soft, warm skin, human-like facial expressions, and the AI-driven ability to have and remember conversations. Unlike most humanoids, which are designed for work or help around the house, this robot has one purpose only: to ease the owner's loneliness.
Modern dating might be rough, but I doubt something that creepy is going to be a good alternative anytime soon.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Because in the war to be first between Silicon Valley and Southeast Asia, somebody, maybe even the Russians, will throw their hat in the ring. Somebody wants to be first on this. Somebody wants to be first to get these types of machines into the marketplace because they stand to make billions very quickly.
How are you feeling today?
I am so interested in everything. I feel like my brain might explode.
Say hello to all my friends.
Hello, all my friends. It is very nice to meet you.
I'm interested in everything probably isn't something you'd hear from a real woman these days, and that's not a good thing.
This robot can do chores around the house, like load the dishwasher, set the table, put things away, or even pour a glass of wine. Bot Handy is one of a handful of bots that Samsung recently introduced. It uses cameras and advanced AI to detect an object's size, weight, and composition before holding and moving things. The bot is still being tested, so it's not available to buy quite yet, but one day in the future.
When doing the dishes becomes a selling point, you know modern dating has problems.
Told you. You see, it's not just Silicon Valley and the Chinese trying to get these types of machines to the market. Samsung, the crown jewel of South Korea, says they're not going to be left out of the mix either. This is an arms race, gentlemen. And it's an arms race simply because of the fact that women have abandoned their half of the social contract. They've walked away from their traditional responsibilities and assignments.
Not Elon. Not Elon. This is what I be talking about. This. Can't even keep that picture up for long like that because it's going to wear me out sitting here looking at it. Now, I have so much to say about this. Elon decides that he wants to invite his robot, whatever you want to call it, girlfriend on the date. Let that sit there. You haven't heard, Elon announces his first girlfriend with artificial intelligence, said that he invited her out for dinner and that he enjoyed the experience. He also said that he enjoyed the experience with calling her smart, beautiful, and obedient.
Her making a whole TikTok about it says it all.
Who's surprised that a representative of the least chosen yet somehow most pregnant demographic on Earth is upset about this? That a blonde-haired, blue-eyed facsimile of a woman is prepared and greenlit to be mass-produced by the tens of thousands, perhaps even by the millions, and airdropped to any house on the planet who wants one, spearheaded by planet Earth's wealthiest man. She's agitated, can't see straight, because, as she mentioned, she's upset about this because it irks her. Well, what do they love to say, gentlemen? If she wanted to, she would. What one won't do, another one will. Well, you know what, ladies? We receive that. We take that at face value, and we've employed that thought process into actionable terms. Technology that just might put you as obsolete as the 8-track cassette tape. You don't like that too much. And I'm going to explain exactly why later on in the video. You see, guys, they don't like the fact that we heard them loud and clear. Women chose the bear, so men, in response, chose peace, quiet, and financial prosperity.
And while China is building some of the most shocking robots we've seen, the next question is how many of these robots can you actually own? Because these next 6 robots aren't just prototypes or demonstrations. In 2026, buying a human-like robot for your home is no longer just an idea from the future. 6 realistic robots that you can actually buy right now, and one of them costs only $10,000. Moya has warm artificial skin and a biomimetic body built to move almost like a real person. Ava.I can detect where you touch it, how much pressure you use, and even the temperature of that contact.
Hold up. You're telling me that right now, as we speak, the technology is advanced enough to where they not only have robots that are warm to the touch, but they've actually got sensors in their bodies that let them know how much pressure you apply to them when you touch them. Do with that information what you will, fellas.
UBTEX U1 can recognize emotional changes and start conversations when someone enters the room. Real Bodix Aria takes things even further with replaceable faces and a personality that owners can completely change. Hey guys, Alfie here. Welcome back to AI Nexus. We have reached the middle of 2026, and realistic robotics is moving faster than almost anyone expected. Robots that once existed only as prototypes are now available for pre-order or direct purchase. Let's start with Moya, a robot that takes realism one step further by offering something most robots still cannot: warmth you can actually feel. Moya comes from the Shanghai company DroidUp, which is also known as Joyide. The robot is being developed for hospitality, elder care, and companionship.
So this thing can walk on its own as well as do the waltz? Wow. What I hope isn't happening is I hope we're not bringing Skynet to life. But I'm impressed by this. This is crazy.
Founder Li Qingdu describes the idea as a warm robot that feels more comfortable to stand beside and touch. That idea is built into the body. Moya's silicone skin is heated to between 32 and 36 degrees Celsius. That is close to normal human skin temperature. Under the surface is a Walker 3 frame with tendon-assisted actuators and lattice-style artificial muscles. The face has 25 degrees of freedom, which gives Moya more control over expressions during conversation.
It's amazing that this thing can generate heat very similar to human body temperature, as well as almost every human facial expression.
Moya can also walk at about 0.83 meters per second. DroidUp says the gait reaches 92% human likeness. This gives Moya an advantage in hotels and care spaces where a robot may need to move between people, instead of remaining in one place. The design also creates problems. Moya's walk can still look unnatural, and the soft skin may be expensive to repair. The robot costs about $173,000. Moya focuses on physical warmth, while UBTech's U1 tries to make the interaction itself feel more human. UBTech built its name with walker robots made for factories. On June 30th in Shenzhen, the company introduced U-World as a new consumer brand. The U1 became its first full-size ultra-bionic robot built for homes, care, and emotional companionship. UBTech is mainly targeting people who live alone and older adults who may want regular interaction inside the home. The U1 has 88 degrees of freedom, which allows its face, neck, arms, and upper body to move in a more natural way. Its dual pivot neck can tilt and turn like a human neck. The silicone skin helps the robot look less mechanical during close interaction. Its emotion-aware AI can identify more than 20 emotional states, with over 90% accuracy. The robot can then adjust its voice and response based on what it sees. The most unusual feature is that the U1 does not need a wake word. It can notice when someone enters the room and begin a conversation on its own. Most of the processing happens locally, which also gives users more control over private conversation.
So it has the ability to recognize when you walk into a room, and it can map your face with, I'm guessing, facial recognition software to see what mood you're in, and the AI will adapt itself to try to bring you relief and peace, or join in your happiness if you're already happy. This is amazing technology, guys. A little spooky, I'll admit, but it is amazing.
The limits are still serious. The battery lasts only 2 to 4 hours. The robot is designed for flat indoor floors and cannot climb stairs or handle normal household chores. Pricing starts at about $17,600 for the light version. The Pro costs around $25,000. Ultra pricing ranges from about $130,000 to $146,000. UBTech reported over 13.3 thousand orders during the launch. U1 tries to make the whole body feel alive. A headform elf Schwan takes the opposite approach and puts most of its effort into one area, the face. A headform elf Schwan 2.0 is a fantasy-inspired bust robot.
Yeah, I can see the Final Fantasy and the Legend of Zelda crowd going crazy over this one.
Made for social interaction and entertainment. Founder Hu Yuhan wants to bring digital characters into the physical world. That is why Schwan is designed more like a living character than a general-purpose humanoid. Up to 42 small actuators move the face beneath soft bionic skin. Cameras placed inside the eyes help Schwan follow people and make direct eye contact. In February 2026, the robot gained attention after performing a lip-synced song at an AI gala. The performance showed how much detail the face can create through small movements around the eyes and mouth. Schwan works best in live events, exhibitions, and entertainment spaces. However, the robot cannot walk and usually remains on a fixed stand or wheeled base. Each unit also takes weeks to build. Pricing depends on the level of customization and can range from tens of thousands of dollars to several hundred thousand. Schwan is designed to be watched. Eva.ai is designed for much closer interaction because its skin can detect exactly how you touch it. Eva.ai comes from IO technology under the Robonova.ai brand. Founder Mark Wu presents the robot as a physical answer to digital loneliness. The company describes it as a new kind of relationship between humans and embodied AI. Its main feature is FPC bionic skin that can sense pressure, temperature, and the exact point of contact. Graphene heating warms the surface to around 37 degrees Celsius. The cameras are placed inside removable glasses instead of the eyes. This helps the face avoid the fixed stare seen in many androids. Emotional data is processed offline and stays inside the robot. Eva.ai is still at an early stage. Its movement is limited to sitting and reclining positions, so it cannot walk around the home. The current official pre-order price is $10,000, with delivery planned for November 2026. Earlier Kickstarter backers were able to reserve units for as little as $6,800. The first 4 robots focus heavily on presence and emotion. Hobbs W1 takes a more practical route by giving businesses a robot that can greet people and handle simple objects. Hobbs W1 comes from Noetics and is designed for hotels as well as retail stores. It can also work in showrooms and corporate reception areas. The robot has hands with 6 degrees of freedom and arms with 5 degrees of freedom. It can navigate indoors and show information on a chest display. It can also read basic emotional cues from guests.
This to me seems like the closest thing we've ever gotten to the Rosie the Robot concept from the Jetsons. This is amazing, guys, and the fact that it can actually propel itself and give you a printout on the screen, which probably be a touch screen if we know that's probably going to be the way to go with it. But this is incredible. Hotels, your house, convalescent homes maybe. Wow.
These features allow Hobbs W1 to welcome visitors and point toward different areas. It can also hand over light objects during simple service tasks. The robot is not trying to look fully human. Instead, the design focuses on useful interaction at a lower cost. Noetix has already shown that it can build affordable humanoids through the Boomy robot, which was priced at about $1,380. The company says Hobbs W1 is also being developed around consumer electronics level pricing. However, the official price has not been announced. Its light frame also means it can only handle small items and basic tasks. Hobbs W1 shows how a humanoid can be useful without looking human. Realbotix Aria takes a different approach by allowing owners to change both the face and the AI running inside the robot. Aria is the flagship social robot from Realbotix. The company has deep experience with realistic silicone sculpting, and that background is clear in Aria's face. The robot is also available as a digital character through Ask Aria, which can communicate in 25 languages. The physical robot uses cameras inside the eyes and a magnetically attached face. Owners can remove one face and replace it with another.
So the customization options are virtually unlimited. That's impressive.
Aria can also connect to outside AI models such as GPT, Gemini, Claude, and Llama. This means the software can change without replacing the body. Realbotix is already testing Aria in real settings. The company has announced pilots with Ericsson, a school district in New York, and an elder care program in the United Kingdom. These trials are meant to test how the robot performs in education, customer interaction, and care environments. Aria still moves on a wheeled base and cannot walk on two legs. Independent testers have also reported slow replies and uneven emotion tracking. Prices begin at $20,000 for the bust. A half-body version costs about $95,000. The full-wheeled robot starts at $125,000. These are 6 realistic robots you can actually buy in 2026. But while these machines are entering homes, the wider robotics industry is moving even faster.
I'll leave a link to the source material videos and I'll pin them to the top comment. But first, let me get the hard part out of the way. I know that for some guys, the idea of a robotic, and in fact, for the rest of the video, to keep myself on the good side of YouTube's algorithm, I'm not going to call them sex bots. I'll be referring to them from this point on as robotic companions. I know that for some men, the idea of using a robotic companion is absolutely anathema, completely off limits. Don't even think about it. And you know what? I have no problem with that, because this option is not going to be for everybody. But I gotta say, when it comes to what we have to pick from, here in the West at least, for my guys who have their passports, you guys can pop some popcorn, crack open a beer, just relax for this conversation. But for my guys who are here and who are going to be here, imagine, if you would, thinking these are expensive, and then do the math properly. Let's say you get a girlfriend who pretends to love you, just long enough to get her pregnant because she tells you that she's on the pill. And she's laughing in your face with her friends because she knows damn well you got a good job, and if she gets pregnant, the family courts are waiting to take you through the fucking ringer. Let's say you get her pregnant, and the split second that kid breaches the birth canal, she runs down to the family courts, and she says, I want this guy on child support because he never married me. And the judge, simp like most of them are, says, you know what, I like that idea. I'm going to put him on for $850 a month. That's $850 a month, 12 times a year, until that kid turns 18. That's $183,600 tax-free income that she can spend on whatever she wants with no oversight, no itemization. She can get her hair done, her nails done. She can take her new boyfriend on dates with it. Crazy. Listen, these machines only exist because of, well, 2 reasons. Number 1, man has creative power. It was a gift to us from the Most High. It's the part of us that makes us the most like him. Effectively, we can take an idea and bring it to life. And there's a need for these types of ideas, unfortunately. Number 2, necessity is the mother of all invention. Things don't get invented just because folks don't want them or don't need them. The fact that women are so far removed from their original design as a helpmate to men. They've made themselves everything else. They've made themselves our competitors, our dictators through borrowed power from the state. They've made themselves, in many cases and in many ways, the banes of our existence. They've turned companionship into competition, and they've turned intimacy into a bargaining chip. They've effectively reduced it, something that should be freely given between two people who profess to love and care for each other. They've reduced that to what's effectively become, here in the West at least, a doggy biscuit. A treat for when you behave the way she sees fit for you to do, when she's the one supposed to be following your lead. It's embarrassing. And good men get walked past every day by women who think they're too good for them. It's actually embarrassing. And the fact that most of these women don't even understand they're part of the problem, the fact they see themselves as perfect 10s without flaw or wrinkle, is truly instructive and why this technology exists in the first place. You add into these robots at some point, if they're not trying already, the idea of creating artificial wombs attached to these things, and women become very obsolete technology. Imagine coming home to a female form whose face you can change 10 times to match your celebrity crush if you have one, or some girl you liked in high school but you never got her phone number, or maybe there's a coworker who in the pre-#MeToo era, you'd have got her phone number and maybe started something with her, but now you know better. You can change that doll's face 10 times if you want it. Have 8 or 9 different wigs for her to wear depending on what mood you're in. Never argue again. Never have somebody interrupt you during the game or the UFC fight ever again. Never have the question posed to you, would you still love me if I was a worm? And the list goes on and on and on. Imagine never being cheated on again. Imagine something physically incapable of giving you an STI. Imagine something that cannot cheat on you. Imagine one that does what it's told. Again, this isn't the option for everybody. And this isn't going to work for everybody. Our sensibilities are too different across the board. But for the guys who are chronically lonely, for the guys who simply want something to get the poison out. I gotta watch my language. They just want to get the poison out. And dealing with a real woman, it's just too much fucking work. Too many headaches. These things are going to fly off the shelves. And again, when the scientists finally get their shit together and finally bring the artificial womb fully online, it's all downhill for them. That's all I got for today, fellas. That's my time. Like the video? Comment down below. Share this video with a friend. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Until next time.